Hey, what's up, guys? I am Matt, and this is MyCrazyPodcast, episode 61. Who are you?
JT on your mom's face!
Wow. And then, who are you?
Dusty B, Monster, please sponsor us.
Hey, it's
Mr.
good.
Slurps.
He's nice.
Word, that was mellow.
Who are you?
I'm Steve. What's up, y'all?
And I'm Matt, for redundancy's sake. And, sorry, I was rubbing my nose.
You were repping your nose or rubbing it?
Rubbing. I was
Oh,
rubbing my nose.
Nose gang.
Yes, my bad. My bad. We're on a podcast.
Smell what you cooking.
Oh, we double cracking.
Double crack that shit, monster.
Yep.
Come on, man. Help motherfucker
Bose,
out,
please
please.
sponsor us.
We pour up in the streets.
Word.
Well,
Love y'all. Help a motherfucker out, please.
I wasn't really planning on starting with jokes. Unfortunately, last week.
Now you gotta start with a joke because you're about to hit us with heavy shit.
Yes.
Unfortunately, last week, Nipsey Hussle was murdered in front of his store out in California.
To Nipsey.
To solidarity.
To Nipsey.
To no more violence, please, guys.
Yeah. Stop the violence, people, please.
So,
Right hand.
I don't know if you guys actually watched last week's episode. I did punch in at the end to mention it, but I didn't go too in depth. And at the time, the alleged murderer was still on the loose, still on the run, so there was no.
Yeah, now he's in custody. He's actually in solitary confinement because they don't want the fucking inmates to get to him.
And you know what? You know who's actually representing him?
OJ's prosecutor.
Yeah, the prosecutor from the OJ case. The prosecutor that had OJ wear the gloves and that ended up getting essentially OJ off.
Yeah.
Because of that, he is representing Eric Holder.
Wait.
Yeah.
He put the gloves on him?
No, it was his choice during the prosecution to have OJ wear the gloves.
If the glove don't quit, you must.
Yeah, if the glove
don't fit.
And
you
then,
must
and then Giant Conquered flipped it and said that, and then that's what a lot of people give credit to why OJ got off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he is which honestly, I think is super hypocritical.
Hell yeah, 100%.
Just because he spent 20 years talking about how OJ got off and all that shit and how
he needs something that's gonna generate more fucking.
That's what really
shit
what it is
to
at
him.
this point.
He just wants the imagery from it.
At this point, I do feel like he's kind of intentional because if you spent 20 years saying this man was a criminal and he got off, and now you're gonna defend someone where there's cameras and there was plenty of witnesses who said murdered someone but it's helping California out. Like the day before that day, like when he was murdered, the reason he didn't have a security with him is because one of his friends just got out of jail for 10 years and he was giving him free clothes.
20 years. 20 years.
Even longer. And he was giving him free clothes so then he could go like
greet his family and his friends and stuff, look good.
And that's why he didn't have his security on him, and then his friend ended up getting shot. He lived.
Yeah,
luckily.
he just was like, he did it, he was like, it was real quick, like, yo, I'm popping over to the store and grabbing shit. He didn't tell anybody where he was going, you know what I'm saying? Like, normally his route is like dialed in. And
Nipsey was supposed to have a meeting the next day with the chief of police about finding a way of opening communication to stop the violence within the streets of California. So and then you're defending the guy who murdered that guy.
Mm-hmm. The crazy part is, and I didn't know this, but this is actually told to me by a pretty reliable source, Rel Denton, shout out actually. He was telling me that the guy who actually got hit him, fucking used to was and recorded recorded footage said this
he had a documentary.
I respected him, I love
There's
him.
a lot of photos
yada.
together.
It's crazy. It's
he shook his hand before he did it.
Exactly. Like what?
Dude, the footage I saw the surveillance footage. Dude
was right up next to him.
Dude shot him, nips on the ground.
I don't want to claim conspiracy, but
shoots him again, and then
what the fuck?
Shoots him again, then goes and kicks Nipsey in the head.
Yeah.
After he shoots him in the head a third time, he stops, walks away, sees he's not done, does it again, sees he's not done, does it, and then decides to kick him. I'm just like, yo, this is the duty this guy's defending after spending 20 years saying how OJ got off because he's rich and criminals need to go to jail. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
Yeah. Nah, he did a lot of good for the community and shit. His community specifically.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I'm not one for conspiracies, but
dude, not for nothing. Like I'm all on board with the conspiracy aspect of this because
I'm not on board with it. I don't believe it.
There's too much coincidence, bro. That you know what I'm saying. And this dude he was friends with him. Well,
It's always someone on the inside. When YG was shot, it
but like
inside.
is that just really so he gets street cred? You know what I'm saying? Was that really what this was really all about?
No, it was because allegedly what happened was they had a heated conversation earlier in that day where the guy came up to Nipsey trying to get some love. He's also apparently a rapper, and Nipsey was like, and allegedly this guy also snitched on people. They're all in the same gang also. They're all
everybody knew that this dude was a local snitch.
Yeah, apparently this guy was a snitch, and then Nipsey was just like, it was just like, yo, you're a snitch. Just I don't want you around my store. It gives too much. It just it's not. I don't want the attention.
It's a bad vibe.
Yeah,
bad look. Yeah.
Bad look. Didn't want it, and then that's why he came back up. So I understand it, but I don't understand it, but I do believe that story. That's what I should say. Like, I would never do that, but I believe that story because, like, I feel like you don't want to be labeled as a snitch, but if that's what you are, like,
yeah, that's what you are. Yo, America raises insecure men, dude.
OD.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. America raises insecure men.
And not for nothing, too, it's the fact that there's too many people out here that are too scared to fucking pay for, like, suffer the consequences of their own fucking actions and shit. Like, people out here want to act hard in the streets and this, that, and the third and whatnot. But, when it comes down to, okay, you did something, you got caught up, like, you're facing fucking 15, 20-year bid, Oh, like, you say some shit, you won't bring it down to 5, like, and they, it's like, where's what you signed? Where's all your brotherhood in that and everything? That goes all out the window when you're facing time like that. Unless you're fucking real, like the real hard, like real generals of the street. They're not gonna do that. That's why they're still out there, because they have that respect. Even if they're in there and do their time and shit, they will still be good. Essentially, yeah, they're locked up, but as far as surviving this shit, and if anything, they'll be living good on the inside because of who they are and because of what they did and whatnot. Like, being able to hold...
Just not folding.
Exactly. Being able to hold down information, know that you can be trusted, is a huge thing.
Well, it just... Yeah, that's just... But I also don't... But I don't want to confuse also people the difference between real... Because, like, being real is just being real to who you are. You don't need to be like street all stuff. Like, you are. Exactly. Don't be a street dude if you're not a street dude.
For
the real street dudes,
because you'll get checked one day.
The real street dudes don't want fake street dudes around them. They don't. Because when something happens, they're gonna snitch.
You look sketchy.
Yeah, they prefer you to be real. And
you're
be
a
like,
liability.
Exactly, you're a witness.
Because
you're a fucking witness.
I'm not gonna. But street dudes, they want you to be real. Like, if you're like, yo, I'm not really a street. They're not. They'll still be like. If you want to have that image of being around street, they'll still be cool, dude. They just won't tell you anything. And as long as you like, real street dudes don't want only street dudes around them. Like, they want people who are real. Be real with who you are. It's just like,
there's one thing that you're born with that you are the only one that can give up, and that's your self-respect and your honor.
Exactly.
If you ain't got that, like, don't even consider yourself real or gangster or whatever. If you're not about that life, you gotta be honest with yourself, and you gotta. And
there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not about that life, just don't be about that life.
But that's where it comes back to D's point about, they're insecure. Like, oh, well, if I'm not, walking around with this 9 on me, like, I'm a bitch. No, you just looking for trouble. And
shout out to the dogs.
Shout out to the dogs.
Shout out to the dogs.
Well, in some situations also, it is kind of like a security thing. Like, there are. So but no, like in certain, like don't start robbing people if you're not
about that.
If you're not about the consequences. If you're not about ready to go to jail.
What the fuck is at my house?
Your dogs.
Oh, they're singing too.
Yo, word. Yo, somebody get them motherfuckers a record deal or some shit. Like,
they're paying
dogs to men.
They're trying to pay their respect to Nipsey also.
Hey.
Word.
That's pretty eerie, actually.
You know what's actually crazy?
Sorry.
No, that you were actually telling us yesterday that they're trying to find a venue big enough.
I was literally just about to say that. Bring that up.
They might end up using the Staples Center.
Okay, so here's the thing. So
that's some Michael Jackson shit.
Nipsey's family put out that they want everybody who wants to go see Nipsey to have that chance to see Nipsey, because he was a person of the people, like and everything. So they're expecting something like 15,000 people to go to this event. Maybe even more. So here's the thing, is that they're trying to find a funeral home big enough to do that. Now, in Los Angeles, there's only 2 venues that are large enough to hold crowds such as that. One, I can't remember. I can't remember exactly the name.
It might be the Greek Theater.
It might be that, or it was like some sort of that, or the Staples Center. Now, Staples Center probably, I think it's what, like 60,000.
Staples Center is where they did Michael Jackson's funeral. Yeah. They're probably gonna.
It's probably gonna end up being at the Staples Center, in all honesty, because, and I hope so, because not for nothing, I have to give a big shout out to their family on that one. You know, like, thank you for giving the world the opportunity to be able to go see, see Nipsey and say goodbye to him. You know, that's a big thing. You know, that's a big thing. And this is the thing, if anybody does anything fucking stupid at that, I swear to God.
Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot. Oh my God.
No, trust me.
Yeah, nobody ever better get that fucking idea in their head.
No, one thing actually, everything has been super peaceful, except for a couple things that we'll get into. But, like, the vigils have been, for the most part, peaceful. The only time that there was a stampede was on the first day when someone accidentally dropped like a bottle or something like that, so it sounded like a huge pop. People were worried it was gunshots. It was a stampede, everyone running, but it wasn't like that was an accident. That's not someone like trying to cause a ruckus, from my understanding, or anything like that. And then since then, everything so far has been.
I want to
all the gangs came together in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and they marched.
Yeah, through the streets.
And
together.
You know what's the saddest part? It's the only time that we as like people come together is when someone is, we lose tragedy. Somebody. Yeah. And that's a damn shame, man.
Fuck
like
yeah.
He same source. We were actually talking about, me, D, and Rel last night. We're talking about it, and I actually didn't know this, but that strip mall where he was murdered, he owns that.
Yeah, he owns the entire strip mall.
He started out there, selling his CDs. Then he bought a store. Out of his
car.
And then he ended up buying the whole strip mall, because nobody else would let him do that.
It's the only place you could solicit.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then he hooked up his friend. Excuse me. He hooked up his friends and family with like jobs and shit. Like that's.
He bought the black back.
Exactly.
He does what all these rappers say that they do.
Yeah, like he rejuvenated. Thank you. A bunch of basketball courts and play areas and whatnot. Liven it up just with artists coming in and painting. It's incredible. The things that he was trying to do and did, that he already did, was doing, and still continued to be done
in his name.
In his name. And I hope that literally that we can all take a lesson from this. People in the street and people off the street, that this shit isn't okay. If violence like this is not okay in any sort of way, shape, or form. Don't matter what class, what people, who the fuck you are, it's not alright. We're all fucking human. We're all here on this fucking earth. Let's fucking live in peace.
And let's keep that in mind, because from my understanding, his Eric Holder's, allegedly his girlfriend's house has been shot up, his mom's house has been shot up, and some of a couple of his family members have been shot since this. So which is where the confusion actually came in. I had news at one point, which is completely false, that Eric Holder was murdered at one point, but apparently that was a false from one of the other shootings. They claimed it early and stuff like that. So yeah, he's in custody right now. He's
in fucking solitary confinement.
And let's be honest, as much as I'm annoyed with his lawyer being like a showboat, like doing this for the press, he isn't known for winning. So like, let's keep that in mind. Yeah. He lost the OJ case. But
there's no way that he can. There's no way that he can not go to jail for fucking murder.
And I want to say one last thing. I don't know if we're gonna keep talking about this, but the one thing that I respect about this man is, yes, he joined the gang, but
in LA that's different. But the culture's a little different.
He put himself out there. That's what I'm saying. Like you do that. You know the life you're getting into in a way. You know that each day could be your last type deal. But he's still elevated to the point that he gave back, and in the face of all that, like, you know what I mean? So that's why I respect him. Like, that's
despite the risks he knew.
Exactly. Like he what did he tweet? He tweeted or something. He was like, "It's good to have big enemies" or something like that.
It's good to have strong enemies. Like that. And apparently, I can't confirm this, because it just apparently that news about that tweet just happened like right before we started recording. I couldn't confirm it, but apparently that tweet was about another situation where like he finally squashed a beef between someone.
It's
so
crazy.
like that was at that day. It was like, but a lot of people think that was about allegedly Eric Holder, but it was a different situation. But yeah, it sucks.
He got murdered same day Selena, same way.
Yeah,
somebody close to him. Crazy.
It's usually is someone close to you.
Yeah.
And seeing all the pictures of like that dude, it's scary sometimes.
Yeah, man, you gotta really know your inner circle and who you moving with, because the friendliest dude could be the first dude to put the knife in your back, man.
Exactly.
It's just facts of life.
Scary. Is there anything you wanted to add, Dustin?
Which one of y'all motherfuckers gonna stab me in my back?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna stab you in the fucking balls.
I'll stab
Shut
you
up.
in the front.
I appreciate that. Nah, man. I'm just glad he did a lot of work for the community and shit, and I hope, some of us have the same impact that he did one day, That's all I can say.
I hope that they continue to do his work.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope they continue to, do it in his name.
I hope the world over recognizes what he did and pushes forward and tries to, aspire
Just a
to
little.
do what he did. Yeah,
even
if you just do that little bit, man.
If we gain an inch, you know what? That was an inch we didn't have.
Word, exactly.
Yeah. And everyone go stream his music. Buy his music if you can. But if you don't have the money and you have like Spotify, stream his music, because
all the money goes to charities and stuff.
No, not he.
Well, he's got his own organization.
Well, yeah, but on top, he owns all of his masters.
Yeah,
he gets all. So he gets.
But it goes to his own organization, I believe.
Well, his family. Oh, just in general, it helps his family and everything.
Well, they just announced something that all the proceeds of his music are going to this one thing to help suicide. I think it's like
suicide
victims, like the attempted suicide victims and like cancer stuff or something.
So he's helping it, like, in general,
or suicide awareness and
cancer
back. Research.
The money is going to be given back in the same way he would want it. So everyone buy his albums right now, stream it. He was also.
And if you at their stores, go buy this shit out of all the support that block, support that entire community, and take example of this and do it yourselves.
Go to that Marathon store and buy everything there. Yeah. Make them have to restock.
That's it.
Yeah. So. Just do it in his name, shout out to Nipsey. Anyways, light. Now we're gonna be pretty much light for the rest of the podcast. We just want to get out of the way because he was important. But great movie trailer came out this week. I'm super excited. Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yo, honestly, I literally watched it on loop the entire day. I think it went trending because of me, honestly.
This dude hit me up and was like...
You have no sense of humbleness, do you?
I know.
This dude deadass hit me up, though, was like, I've been watching it on loop for like the past 30 minutes. I'm like, why?
It's so fucking good.
No, I understand that. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's a phenomenal trailer. But why?
I mean,
I don't think you've even watched porn and repetitiveness as
no
you
one
watch
does.
that.
As soon as you bust a nut, you feel.
Not this man.
We've already talked about it. We fast forward to the best part. You do your thing.
I mean, there's that one with the Latina girl getting banged out by her boss in the bathroom. That's,
I mean,
just one. Days. There's like billions of those.
To me, it's like, you bust your nut, you got that little bit of regret for like a couple seconds, and then you go clean up.
And that's only when you get stuff everywhere, though.
Oh, no regrets ever.
No regrets.
Yeah. Unless,
Well, that's why you have rag-grets, so you need the rag for it.
Well, no, I there's no regrets with the silent B in there, because, you need a plan B.
So Joker. Yeah,
Joker. Yes. Dude, but it's just so good. And also, I've just been so annoyed with the direction Mr. Snyder went in.
Mr. Snyder
went in.
You want to call him Zack Snyder?
No, I'm going to give him the respect of calling him Mr. Snyder, because people think I hate on him too much. So if I call him Mr. Snyder, there's some, respect there. But...
It's like a backhanded compliment.
I was going to say, the fact that you have to explain that kind of...
Well, look, here's... For people listening, I'm going to do, a trajectory.
It's like shaking a man's hand and kicking him in the nuts at the same time.
Man of Steel.
Word.
It's a hello.
So for the listeners out there that cannot watch
on the
video, Jimmy just kicked the mic and popped Matt right in his mouth.
Well, at least I didn't chip my teeth.
Yo, see, that's why you don't talk about Zack Snyder.
Yeah, Amelia Karma. Zack Snyder is just. Zack Snyder's watching this right now.
He said, going down.
Yeah, it's like Batman vs Superman.
Hadouken. Mike Blast.
Zach's currently sitting at home in his living room with a voodoo doll of Jimmy. And was like, kick the mic.
No, he's watching because he's always watching. He's like, finally someone got him.
Oh, he's the biggest fan.
Someone
obviously.
got him. Yeah, he's the one that dislikes all the videos.
Oh my god.
He's like, talk about Batman vs Superman.
He's like, I remember that tweet when the poster came out.
Hans Zimmer had the best soundtrack.
He's gonna have his whole production come. Everyone dislike this video right now, or you're fired.
He's twice the man Danny Elfman ever was.
No, like,
I can't believe he kicked you.
We're getting sued.
Oh my goodness.
the struggle's real. But no, I mean karma, YOLO. I mean, I'm talking shit about someone's career and then I immediately get kicked. I feel like it's somewhat karma, whatever.
If that's not karma, I don't know what is.
That's how I know there's gotta be some form
It's
of
not my fault. He made such bad movies.
He did. I was just waiting. It's like the ceiling tile just falls on me or something.
But,
well, I mean, the place is haunted, so maybe the ghost is a fan of fucking Zack Snyder films.
No, that's what happened.
Yeah,
He possessed you, and you kicked Matt.
What really happened is the ghost that made you kick him.
Yeah.
I'd go with that.
But what's it called? No, my thing is like, I mean, people always thought it was like Warner Brothers' fault because like they didn't allow Zack to do his full true vision. They ended up cutting it after they saw it. I'm like,
no way. It's just the opposite.
I know. My thing is like I think they gave him so much, and then they finally saw it, and they're like,
oh, this is shit.
God damn it, we gave him all this fucking money. What the hell?
Why do we do such a thing?
I feel like they're just running around, just like, burn everything. No.
I mean,
insurance, call them.
I mean, he technically is sleeping with a producer, but that's beside the point.
That's how you get.
I mean, I would too. You seen the producer?
No.
His wife? Yeah, no, she's. I mean, I'm not gonna respect his wife. She's
a nice lady.
Yeah, she seems.
My
right.
logic was, how can you really truly blame Warner Brothers when they've been doing the superhero? They started the superhero.
They allowed Nolan.
franchise
They allowed Nolan to do exactly what he wanted,
and been killing it in the game since.
They didn't have to recut
it. You cannot tell me that Warner Brothers was the reason that all of a sudden the DC franchise started going downhill.
That's the thing. Like, I'm probably like in the 1%.
You're a 1%er.
Thank you. The Nolan movies were for me. Like,
no,
the one with Heath Ledger was the best.
Definitely.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Yeah.
There are those who would disagree with us, but you can't argue the fact that it didn't make its money. It didn't do what it set out to do, and it wasn't. It was very.
You're talking about Snyderverse.
I'm talking about Nolanverse right now. It was very openly accepted by its fan base.
But it was, but they were like, yo, it's the best Batman trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, trilogy-wise,
I like those.
Regardless of our opinions,
the Dark Knight
you have to accept the fact that the Dark Knight trilogy, hands down, is one of the most openly accepted as
Batman.
Yes.
Even DC.
Yeah.
DC live action.
And not for nothing, it was smoothly done. It wasn't like fucking. There wasn't any real holes.
So you have to look at the consistency.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
DC, live action. Then Zack Snyder comes on.
Boom! Shit!
No,
seriously.
Hold on.
It was This Is Sparta. You literally This Is Sparta me. Yes. What the fuck?
Full circle. I'm gonna say it like this: Michael Keaton. I'll say Ben Affleck, and then I'll say Christian Bale. I think
I love Affleck as Batman.
I think he's a good older Batman.
I was on
but
the
not
support.
For nothing. Like Christian Bale was like the younger when Batman first came out. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like he wasn't like an older, mature I
feel like he used a sex voice as a Batman
I'm
voice.
sorry, I can't stand the I'm gonna throw up at any moment Batman voice.
Yeah, I hate that.
Exactly. I think that's his sex voice though, really. Like, he's just like.
That's when he goes hard in the paint.
Rachel.
Don't talk. See, everyone that's making fun of someone is getting hurt in some way.
Yeah. Karma's a bitch. Make sure she's beautiful.
This is the issue with
except for me.
This was the issue with all the Batman movies that weren't good. So this is why I say Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are the top two Batmans. And the only reason I would say that is because they played both a good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman.
Yes.
Where all the other ones, they were just like, you know, like Val Kilmer.
It was one-sided.
It was just either
Great Bruce.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Great Batman.
Yeah, I was a shaky on the Great Batman part for both of those. But the bat nipples and
Wait, did you say bat nipples?
You cannot blame George Clooney for the bat nipples.
That was
bat nipples?
Schumacher.
Yeah. Joel Schumacher, you don't remember? He literally asked for, I don't know if he specifically asked, but the costume had bat nipples.
I don't remember this.
Watch Batman vs. Robin. Batman and
They
Robin.
did a close-up of it during the suit-up.
Yeah,
they
it was
literally did a
weird.
close-up.
Literally all they talked about.
It was like bat bulge, bat ass, bat nipples.
It was
all
all
like sex appeal.
Word.
It was the weirdest close-ups. As a kid, I was like, "That's just movie making." As
At
adult,
first, I was like,
that's
"Oh,
just fucking
maybe
creepy.
you know he had like the cool utility belt."
Utility belt?
You saw all crotch. All latex rubber
Utility belt?
crotch.
Utility belt.
It's just bulge.
I'm marketing that.
Yo, word, that's gonna be the new. That's gonna be the Wonder Woman porno that
Oh,
My
my.
Crazy Production comes out
I'm
with.
not gonna lie. For a second, I was like, did they call David
Wonder
Bowie
Woman
for this
and her
movie?
utility
Yo.
belt.
Utility belt.
You never seen The Labyrinth, have you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I've been
If you
to
watch
The
The Labyrinth, all you see is David Bowie bow as a whole
Oh
movie.
yeah,
It's
no,
fucking
I do.
unfortunate.
I do know the
Everybody
meme.
knows that without seeing the movie.
Exactly.
I know the meme. A nostalgia critic also. But yo, no. But that's the thing. Joker. I'm excited. I think Warner Brothers is getting in the right direction though. I think they're cutting out the fat Snyders. I want to say the fat. I want to make like a good plan. Where's the fat? Pretty much.
Do you know where they're actually like? And I agree with you. Do you know why? Have you seen Doom Patrol?
Amazing.
That is by far
Fucking
one of the
amazing.
best DC shows I've ever seen.
That's
Hands,
Hulu, right?
hands.
It was
No,
on
it's
the
DC.
series.
Universe. yeah.
DCU.
Oh,
But yeah, no, I agree with you, man. If they start, because it looks like edgy and dark, but it doesn't. Like I don't know, I can't.
I completely forgot about that. Also, the one thing Zack Snyder fans always have is people just don't like it because it's dark. People don't like it. No, it's literally too dark to fucking see. Like he turns down. He turns down the exposure too fucking dark.
Yeah, yo.
You can't see what the fuck's going on.
Even after, and then people are like, "Oh, it's just because you're in a theater." I'm like, "Nah, you're
watching it on
100%
Blu-ray.
right on
I'm watching it on
exactly.
Blu-ray.
You're
I can't
100%
fucking
right
see
on that.
anything.
You gotta
can
turn up the
all-
brightness on
you
the projector and shit.
Even
like-
then, it's still dark. Like you can have all the lights off in the motherfucking room. Put your TV brightness all the way the fuck up, and it's still dark.
But this movie looks dark. Like even the only part that looked like colorful was when he was finally the Joker like dancing in the trail. But even then, those steps, that's like there's no like real saturation to it. It's very kind of like gritty, but you can, yeah, it's during the day.
His ISO is below 100.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, bro,
camera joke.
This is how you make a dark superhero movie where you can actually see what the fuck is going on. That was always the hard part with Zack Snyder movies, and why I think Justice League also looked so fucking bad, because
overly CGI'd.
Yeah, because Zack Snyder
Among
movies.
other things.
What if you compare Batman vs Superman versus Justice League? Turn down the exposure in Justice League, it'll look like I'm sure the CGI would look just as good as Batman vs Superman, but Joss Whedon comes in, he's like, "This is too dark. Let's make the exposure actually correct."
And and then it just looks like fucking. You can basically see everything green screen.
And
everything.
And then the suits and then Wonder Woman's suits look green in certain parts because when you're controlling the exposure, going dark on digital cameras, it's easier to go darker in the green spectrum than it is the blue spectrum because it'll get grainy. Science stuff. So, but then you boost it for Justice League when you shot with a slightly green hue costume, so now she looks weird in different scenes. And it's
exactly, like her skin texture looks completely off.
I still say the
suit itself,
the Superman mustache jiggle thing, that was weird. I was like, what is this?
They started with that fucking scene. What was the point?
Yeah.
They literally started with the cell phone footage and the bullshit ass I'm like, no.
I was watching it. Who was I watching it with? My brother. I was like, oh, strap in. This is gonna be a shitty movie.
They started early with this shit though. That was the first shot. First.
Yo, not for nothing. Do you guys think here? Little, just like prediction thing. Do you
I didn't
guys
even really notice though the rest of the movie.
You think they're gonna fucking completely fuck up Shazam?
No, I am sure.
No, Shazam's actually arguably one of the. They're actually saying right now that DC is on fire.
Yeah,
I think
with Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman I thought was great, and Wonder Woman is spectacular.
You know what I was hearing? Like, oh, Shazam looks like it's for kids. Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah,
I think this is their Deadpool. Like, this is the perfect time for them
they need to make fun. They need a comical type character.
Not even that. They need someone to make fun of themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they've made so many. Like, the problem with also the Snyderverse, it took itself way too fucking seriously.
You also have to keep in mind, though, Shazam's that perfect character to do so. Yeah. Because it's an adult trapped in a child trapped in an adult's body.
With all this power.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this kid literally has an adult's body with the mind of a child running around with this superhuman destructive power.
He has,
and he goes by beer.
Yeah, he goes by beer. He tries to jump.
Like, go find this beer,
they do an homage kind of to Superman when he tries to leap a tall building in a single bound. He just crashes like before he even gets to the top. Like, that's funny.
You know, honestly, I also get a chuckle when like the bad guy comes in and they're in this toy store. He just gets a Batman figure. He's
Batman.
He's like, Batman, get him! He just tries to run away.
He's like, super villain.
That
looks great. I'm excited for it.
I think Warner Brothers is a company that gives, honestly, if anything, they gave directors their freedom up front and then realized afterwards that was a bad decision. And they gave Zack Snyder complete control of everyone's shit.
Is probably a
That's
bad
why
decision.
I've always supported Warner Brothers. I've always loved Warner Brothers. When it comes down to the rivalry between, Disney and Warner, I've always been on the Warner, obviously, because you guys know how I feel about Disney.
Yeah.
Not that I truly hate Disney. I love a lot of their stuff, a lot of their product. But when it comes down to the rivalry, it's New York versus Jersey. It's Jersey versus the Rangers.
I got a thing. I want to do one thing,
and I love Warner Brothers.
I want to ask y'all, like, when everyone sees the movie, I want y'all to really compare this, because I have really high hopes for this movie, just by watching it, like the trailer a few times. And I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but hey, that's life. Heath Ledger is right now considerably the face of Joker, along with Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
But no, Heath Ledger is definitely the best Joker in most people's minds.
Yeah, I think this Joker movie may rival it or put Joaquin Phoenix a little bit over him.
Well, here's the thing.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want you to, like, yes, I of course he passed away, and that's his, like, a little bit of his legacy. But I want you to go in an open mind and actually try to compare them.
Yeah. As if he was still alive today.
I think it's been enough time where we can finally do that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's my thing about because Heath Ledger is still to this day my favorite Joker, but it's a different. This is the Joker origin story, so it's going to be a different type of feel of a movie to Joker's, in my opinion. Yeah. So it's not going to be like him,
though?
Huh?
Do you think it's just like this is just like a standalone?
Yes.
Yes.
Honestly, what I think they're going to do, because Joaquin has said that he only wants to do one movie.
Okay.
Like he never wanted to decide. He almost didn't do this because he
didn't want to get locked in.
They were trying to pressure him into multiple contracts.
And he was just like, no, I don't want to do that. They're like, all right, fine. What if you do your little spin-off? What I think they're gonna do, I don't know if Jared Leto's still signed on, but they'll just get someone else to replace Jared Leto. But
because
Joker.
they
Worst
just
Joker.
because
what I think is gonna happen is this is gonna be the origin. If you watch Batman vs Superman, which I actually, even though I shit on it, I watched it multiple times, so I feel like I have justification to shit on it because I've seen it. I pick it apart, but at a certain point, Bruce, when he meets Superman, at the Lex Luthor's party, he says, "We have a history with clowns, plural, dressing as pretending to do something." But he used plural on clowns. I think what they're going to do is make this the origin somewhere.
Because do you remember? Yeah, because what was it when Batman sits on the Throne of Wisdom or the Book of Wisdom, whatever that was in one of the comic books, and he asks who the Joker is, and even the Wisdom thing doesn't even know. It just says that there's 5 Jokers.
Exactly. But also with this Joker seems to be around the time when Bruce is a kid, because like the kid that he makes smile. There's rumors that's
Batman.
That's Bruce Wayne, yeah, and the guy on the television is supposed to be Thomas Wayne. So this is like before his parents even die. Like So what I think is if they're gonna try to connect this in, and Joaquin doesn't want to do any more movies.
You think it's gonna end with the killing of Bruce Wayne's parents and stuff, like when he finally goes on his psychotic break?
I don't know if they go that
like
far.
One of the
Joker was never the one who ever pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Joe Chill.
Yeah, Joe Chill. I'm not going that.
Typically,
I'm not going to speculate on this movie, but what I'm going to say is, Robin died in the Snyderverse. What I think they're going to do, if they're going to try to connect this movie to that, this is the first Joker. And then the Snyderverse Joker, the Suicide Squad Joker, is Robin.
Because the Joker, Joker's also responsible for Robin's parents too dying in the fucking circus accident thing.
That was another gangster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was trying to press the circus for money. Circus told him no, and Zigaro or something was his name.
Yep.
But my idea is basically this Joker.
Tony Zuko.
Yep.
This Joker, I feel, will.
Zuccarelli.
The way that they'll connect is this Joker will be the Joker that kills Robin. Robin comes back and kills him and takes place as the Joker, who is Jared Leto's Joker. If they want to connect it, that'd be an easy way to do it.
Is that really how it is that the Joker is really Robin? Like Jared Leto's like
the only time they really did that was in Batman Beyond.
Yeah, they've done that.
Yes, that's right.
They have trying to cast Michael Keaton for possibly.
I cannot wait for a Batman Beyond movie.
That I want to direct it. Warner Brothers.
What else? It's not a podcast without Dustin running off to take a piss.
It's already in the works. So they fire directors every other week at Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, hire me. I'll be there for a week. No, I've always wanted to do the Batman Beyond movie. That's always been my...
Who would you cast as Terry McGinnis?
Terry McGinnis. Right now, honestly, fuck. If I'm thinking of someone, honestly, young actors that are kind of like my favorite right now that I feel like would have that swag, Michael B. Jordan. I like Michael B. Jordan as Terry McGinnis. I know he's technically black, but I don't care.
I know he's technically black.
I don't care. He's such a
good... you know the background, right? Like he was cloned from Bruce.
Yeah, but I also saw like a behind the scenes documentary about that because I got the I have the Batman Beyond DVD collection kit.
Oh, so I got all the extra shit.
I watched all of it. So apparently Paul Dini and all that stuff. The reason why that show ended on like a cliffhanger is that all of them were just kind of bored. They just were like, let's just do Justice League and all that stuff, and then they felt bad afterwards. Like we never really ended it.
So and they did Apogee.
But they've all said since then, like, they aren't really proud of that origin. Like, if they could do it again, so if I was going to do a movie, I wouldn't make McGinnis be a clone of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because they've even said they didn't like that.
That's the only real canon right now. So, I mean, yeah, you can always rewrite canon, but...
I would. If I were doing a live-action movie, the same way, like, what, I can't believe I forgot his name. He did Evil Dead and Spider-Man.
Sam
Raimi.
Sam
Raimi. No, the way they switched instead of web shooters, he just had it out of the wrist and made it smarter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's kind of makes more fucking sense, honestly. Yeah. If coming out of the wrist, like, you were just bit by a spider, but you have all the powers except for the fucking web. Like, for me, that made more sense. It still makes more sense to me. Sam Raimi's version of it comes out the wrist.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, because your body is supposed to produce that shit if you're a part spider.
Not necessarily. You can only adapt certain abilities.
No, I get it, but if
it's less likely your body's going to genetically mutate to have a hole all of a sudden in your wrist to go. Psst.
I mean, all of it's kind of
technically, if you think about it, but then would it come out of your ass then?
You already have.
Yeah,
he's got a point there.
He's got a point.
Or your penis,
but
or your ears.
You're more likely to grow fingertip hairs that will grip this shit than you are fucking,
but that's one of those things where, especially because the original writers said they aren't really happy with the origin, that's something I would rewrite if I were doing the movie.
Plus, you got to keep in mind and I'm just coming from a comic book standpoint, it makes it more convenient because all of a sudden he's zipping along. Oh, shit. I'm out of juice.
Yeah,
I'm falling. Or, oh shit, Venom's coming after me. I'm out of juice. Now I gotta run.
That is one thing that made it hard for Spider-Man 2. He's just like, I'm upset. Which I get. Like,
teen angst.
He's like, I'm depressed. And I'm like, I get it, but also, you're also fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, word. Like, get over it.
Yeah.
You have shit to do.
And, like, I think now is the best time to do it. And I mean it because Gotham in, like, whatever it was, like, 2040 or whatever, like it's like Blade Runner, and like you know what I mean, like we have the technology to do it like right, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I actually agree with you. I think Michael B. Jordan would be a really cool Batman Beyond.
I think it'd be a good, because that's the only one he's the only actor like in that age group that I really think could actually do it right now. I can't think of anyone else. No, see, here's the thing. I don't think he can. I don't have that type of vibe from him.
I think he'd be able to do a very good Terry McGinnis.
But
you haven't seen a lot of his darker shit. That's why probably.
Here's the thing.
He does a lot of darker.
Shit. I have seen his dark. I don't think I can't see him as Batman.
Oh, he can bulk up.
I can't see.
Terry McGinnis wasn't that big, dude. I mean, he was broad, but he wasn't tall.
That's also the thing. I'm seeing the broadness. Like I feel like Michael B. Jordan, especially I'm seeing him as Killmonger
my hair black,
right now.
I could pull it off.
Yeah, you could.
They probably could.
I actually have a Robin photo mock-up I can pull up.
Like, if you're already casting Michael B. Jordan, then you, like, because he's technically supposed to be in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, you can just be like, he's, like, in college and he meets Bruce Wayne on, like, you know, whatever. But,
well,
like,
Michael B. Jordan still looks young enough. Like, I could.
Yeah.
And everyone in Hollywood is in high school when they're 30. So, like, you know, it's kind of how it works. But, no, Michael B. Jordan would be, like, my number one right now. I haven't really thought about it, though. Who would you? Well, you said Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That was just off the top of my head. I could probably come with something better though.
I'm trying to. That was just off my top too. I can't really think of anyone. I'm not.
Michael B's great though.
Michael B. That's another thing. Like he did. I know he could do like both.
Honestly, he can pull off pretty much
most.
I would say most superhero roles.
Yeah. But I feel like that would be an interesting one. But yeah. So overall, last thing about Joker. Do you guys think it's gonna win an Academy Award? And which one do you think it'll win? If it does win one.
I'll be honest, I don't follow the Academy Awards enough to, I'm not into that shit, man.
I would say best cinematography.
I do the art for the art, not for that stuff. Not to hate on anybody who loves that shit, but I just...
No, I understand.
I just don't care.
I do the same. I'm the same way, but I definitely understand the politics of it. I think it'll definitely get nominated, and I think I think it'll win actor. I think he might win best actor, and then if anything, they'll do best screenplay. I don't think they're gonna do best feature. Or best director. I feel like the Academy won't.
I feel like
they
well, not really, because they've been kind of more open lately. But
I feel like the movie almost has like, kind of looks like a fucking musical kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
that's just the style they went with the trailer. Though.
I think that was the marketing.
I don't think that's at all the way they're going with it.
I feel like it's gonna be a lot like Taxi Driver.
Absolutely. That's what's been compared to a lot actually. Even the style of the trailer kind of annotates such. Well, not annotates, but,
it's going to be
such.
Well, that makes actually sense, because wasn't Martin Scorsese supposed to originally direct it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then...
Martin Scorsese's been, rumored to direct a couple of Joker pieces in the past.
Yeah, he was supposed to direct this one, apparently, but he apparently dropped out, and then the guy who does...
Martin Scorsese's getting old, man.
War Dogs. Yeah, but he's still doing work. Did his masterclass ever come out? I remember that... I know that's like
I believe so.
All right, cool.
I'm pretty sure.
I remember there was a meme online where they had the trailers for it forever, but they were like, it's not out yet. And then they kept delaying it. It's like, did you guys actually shoot it? Or did you guys just shoot the promo? And it's just like, waiting for Martin Scorsese to show up. But no, I want to definitely check that out, the masterclass. So yeah, I think it will win probably Best Actor or Best Screenplay, if anything.
Go see it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's going to come out in October. Other movie news, though, that unfortunately... we talked about it actually a couple weeks ago. We talked about what was gonna happen with Gambit, and Disney came out and said Gambit is canceled indefinitely. So
yeah, no
more Gambit. And as far as they know right now, no one knows what's going on with New Mutants. The girl from Game of Thrones who actually was in New Mutants they asked her in an interview was it coming out? She officially said, I have no fucking clue when it's coming out, or something like that. She specifically said fuck though. Yeah, facts. I've seen that Robin suit, but yeah, so it's Gambit's canceled.
Boo.
Which I'm kind of I'm.
I mean, I wasn't surprised though. Honestly, I said a couple weeks ago.
Them side movies usually actually are pretty fucking good because they got to do a lot more to them for
Well, just
the character has to be able to hold its weight though, and Gambit wasn't. As a character, Gambit's great as a support. He's interesting. He's a Boba Fett.
He's not a standalone.
But as a standalone, he's watered down.
I don't think. Also, I don't think
until he becomes a god, and even then, he's like, meh.
Also, I don't think Kevin Feige at Marvel Studios had any plan on doing that. That was a Fox thing. Everyone that was signed on for really Fox, and then now they're just. I don't feel like Kevin Feige. I feel like he saw that. He's just like.
Let's go to Wolverine Origins. Gambit had that 15 seconds or 15 minutes, whatever you want to call it, in the film. So everybody's I love Gambit.
Honestly,
he's also cool in that cartoon from the 90s.
I feel like the X-Men series, though.
Fucking cumulative 30 minutes he had through the whole series?
Hey, that was a great 30 minutes.
I'm for real, the whole X-Men series, the same thing, the same bullshit's going on, the same thing with Fantastic Four.
Well, that's done, Fantastic Four.
You know what I'm saying?
That was so done. Oh my, I can't believe they actually did that.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it could be something good, but they really need to get some good people involved to write it well.
Yeah, well, the problem with the last Fantastic Four was...
Cast it well.
The last Fantastic Four, the problem with that one was
They took a lot of liberties.
But not even that. The whole reason they made it was just to keep the rights.
None of the Fantastic Four has ever been good.
Yeah, well, no, the 90s one was amazing.
The cartoon, fantastic.
No, well, I bought my mic that time, guys.
But nobody wants to talk about that in the Marvel history.
What, the 90s one?
Marvel only wants to hide that one. No, DC sucks, DC sucks, DC sucks, but let's not talk about Fantastic Four.
Hey, the 90s one technically never released. It technically was just leaked.
That says enough right there.
They
Fantastic Four should have never came
to
fruition.
They made it just to keep the rights to it, which is the worst reason to make a movie. If you're just making it to keep the rights to it, and you're only just putting in like the least amount of money, god damn it, you're a horrible people.
Well, it's fantastic for us that we don't have to watch that shit no more. So.
Oh shit!
I still haven't seen the new one.
Play on words.
Hell yeah.
Bars.
Bars.
No, I didn't see the new one.
Metaphors.
They were literally like, "Hey, we want to keep the rights to this." It's just like, but it looks terrible. Yeah, no.
And it's you know what's sad? They're a great team. They're like one of Marvel's.
That was Stan Lee's creme de la creme. Like, that was Stan Lee's invention, like, creation. Like, he went to his wife and was like, I'm thinking about quitting comics. And she was like, all right, well, you have this project, right? And he was like, yeah. I'm paraphrasing and summarizing, obviously. But she was like, well, do what you want to do. That's going to be fun. And he was gifted, well, not gifted, but given the task of making a Justice League competitor for Marvel. So he was like, I'm going to make these guys. And he came up with a family environment that the kids could relate to and the families could all love, and Fantastic Four was born, and boom, it blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they brought some of the biggest villains.
Yeah.
Yes.
Galactus and all that. So.
Galactus, Silver Surfer. You got Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have they were the first introduction of Black Panther. I have the original.
Yes.
I have the original issue. I believe it's Fantastic Four 47. If I am correct.
Needs more white people.
Throw in the KKK. We're
fine. But no, fantastic.
The asses.
I actually liked the although keep in mind, people out there, I was 8. I actually liked the Fantastic Four from the 2000s. I didn't like the Silver Surfer. That even as a kid, I was just like
the first one was good.
Yeah,
I liked the first one.
Even now, like looking back, I'm like, that wasn't a bad movie for the 2000 standards. Because remember.
Yeah. It was like 2004, 2006.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
a lot of bad movies during that time that were a lot shittier.
This is why I sometimes don't like to call superhero movies bad movies. I mean, it could be poorly done, of course, but it's like it's not meant to be taken serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just...
You gotta ignore a lot of obvious rules.
Exactly.
Like, case in point, Galactus is a huge fucking being that we can see only his face from space. Alright, peep this. Our whole Earth in the Marvel Universe is filled with powerful flying beings. You mean to tell me only these 4 motherfuckers were like, hey, so you see that big face up there, that giant talking head that's gonna eat Earth? Yeah, only us 4 are gonna take it on.
No, they didn't. They convinced Silver Surfer to fucking help them.
But that's my point. You see what I'm saying?
They wouldn't have done nothing.
So we got the Incredible Hulk, who pretty much damn near punched Thanos back in the next week. But nah, we gotta get these guys over here to talk to that guy. But you get my point. Where were the other 50,000 fucking mutants and superheroes at this moment that this giant talking head is currently looking down at our planet about to get his munch on?
Well, see, Stark Industries owned the rights to the Avengers, and then LexCorp bought the rights to the
copywriting.
LexCorp bought the rights to the mutants, so then they weren't allowed to be in that fight. They had to fight Batman for them.
They were busy
just making comic book fans' heads explode, putting both of them together.
Everyone is out their computers like, is he right?
He's like,
check this shit.
Burning fingertips off right now.
Does this jackass not know that DC?
Every nerd around the country is losing their shit right now. Word.
What did he just say? That's not even. They're not even in the same universe, Maddie. What are you talking about?
Except for that one time Spider-Man was in the DC universe.
Mom, hold my meatloaf. I gotta go tweet something. I'll be right back.
Hold my
Amalgam Comics.
Oh yeah, the Malcolm comics.
Those are cool.
They were awesome. Dark Claw. Cool. Yeah. The hyena.
Super. What was it? Captain Super
Soldier.
Super Soldier. There we go.
Honestly, I think we might get to a point in 10 years. I think because now I feel like the dust is starting to settle with like the competitiveness between DC and Marvel. DC's kind of figured out what they're doing, and they're kind of not. copying Marvel as much
I
anymore.
can't even fathom that.
I feel like we might see a day where they'll do like a collabo movie.
Do you know how much?
I don't think so,
Marvel
man.
versus
Because
DC.
the last comic crossover for DC and Marvel, when they did amalgam back in like the
80s?
late '90s, early 2000s, it went. The relationship went south real quick. Like everybody was like, "Yay, this is cool, this is dope," and the fans were like, "Awesome, we've been waiting for this for a long time again." You know, this is a second time around type deal. And then like after contracts were all said and signed and done and shit, a lot of people went home very bitter and angry and pissed off.
Well, no. I don't want it to be. I wouldn't want it to be serious. I'm thinking like a one-off movie. I feel like the both studios.
That's all that was. Oh, that's what you're saying. You know, no following amalgams and shit like that.
I feel like there we'll get to a time where once DC is more it needs to be like 5-10 more. Let DC make more movies like this that they're doing. Shazam, make good movies, pretty much.
Get the traction going again.
Yeah, keep it going, and I feel like they'll have a point where they'll both be like, this is kind of getting stale for both of us. Let's make something, just shake it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they'll work on one-off together.
I was saying like,
That would be the new cherry topper that everybody would need. Yeah.
Yeah.
the production value, the amount of like who your cat, like that is just mind-boggling to me.
The sheer amount of that would be the epic of all epics.
Yeah,
To see that, because
superhero
you have the
wise,
two
yeah.
biggest corporations when it comes to filmmaking, arguably, in the world coming together with the cachet of characters that they have at their repertoire, just going, all right, guys, how are we gonna do this? Like,
Right.
the possibilities are infinite. You could fuck that up easily, but at the same time, you could easily make that phenomenal.
Yeah. I think for a one-off movie, I think both companies could get their shit together.
Absolutely.
Where they could just be like, all right, we're splitting the rights to this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's down the middle. Like, where they don't have to worry about, like, let's say they have a 4-picture deal and then three movies down, they decide to cancel.
like,
it's like one gets more than the other. It's like, just make one, split it down the middle. I think it's possible.
Have like Warner Brothers cast the DC characters, have Marvel cast obviously the Marvel characters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I think that'd be one for the ages.
What I think would be cool too is it'd be almost like a draft almost for Warner Brothers and DC, like case in point, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know he's not going to recast his role as the Green Lantern.
God, that'd be hysterical.
But that's what I'm saying, like in terms of drafting, you imagine if, because technically he could do both characters.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool doesn't look anything like Hal.
Yeah.
Nah,
Well, he also got mask on most of the time.
You could tell the
Yeah,
difference. All right, well, in here, what's his name could play Thanos and Cable?
Josh Brolin.
yeah.
Josh
true.
Brolin, thank you.
Yeah, that's.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, it would be like a drafting race, like as to who could get who if certain characters have reprised roles on both sides.
Chris Evans could play Captain America and the Human Torch.
That's what I'm saying. Like that should be hilarious.
And then Michael B. Jordan would play Human Torch and Killmonger.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And Batman Beyond. Fuck it, let's get crazy.
Yeah.
Yo,
Let's
word.
do it. Wait, why is Batman Beyond there?
Yo, fuck
Well,
it.
Time traveling?
Who cares?
Yeah,
Yo,
well,
we're breaking
type shit.
everything.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're gonna have every Flash too, young one and old one.
Anyways,
Disney, Warner
guys,
Brothers, hit us up. We
Yeah.
got the script already in the making.
as we were saying, pretty much,
Dibs.
we're excited for Joker.
Dibs. We call dibs. First, that's the rules. Dibs.
Yeah, dibs. Yeah, that's right. Dib rules work in America. This
Dibs.
is fucking America.
Dibs and
Yeah. Anyways, we got one funny
punchline,
topic this week. Guys, don't ever fucking get divorced. Let's period. Just don't listen to.
We're going to talk about the Amazon situation.
So apparently, Jeff Bezos' wife, people thought she was getting 50%. She didn't. Only 25%.
Only.
Only 25. So she's the third richest woman in the world right now.
Call me. I just want 1%.
And she gets, and those are also shares in the company. 25% of his shares, all non-voting though. So she cannot actually. She doesn't have any control in the company. She just gets the money from the companies from those shares.
Right.
And which is interesting though, because since she owns so much stock though, she can, any company can kind of cuddle up to her and be like, hey, we want to just buy that from you, and give her a ridiculous amount of money for it, and then
she could just offload that shit and dip, and then they got, hey, so how's it going over here?
and then they could just start like a hostile takeover.
They
type
start,
shit.
yeah, they start buying up small chunks at a time. As soon as they
Yeah,
hold
she's
controlling
got-
shares.
as long as
She's
you
got
get
a big
over
chunk.
51%,
You
or
own-
even the
no, you always
largest
need
percent.
51%.
Yeah.
Our largest share is controlling share. 51% is the largest possible controlling share. That's what you need to control a whole company by yourself.
Exactly. Well, anything over 50.
That's why typically ground industry creators, independent creators, typically try to hold on to 51% at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's just crazy to me.
How much money was that equate to? Like $35 billion.
Yeah, $35 billion.
It's insane.
It's crazy, and that's honestly though what I'm thinking. Like another country is gonna come in and try to buy it. Like it actually breaks into another story that came out this week. Epic Games apparently 40% of it is owned by a Chinese server company called Tangent. And people just found out about that this week, which is why they're a little bit worried about the Epic Store like selling data, which they've said they don't. I own the majority. The CEO said I own the majority of the company. I make all the rules. Nothing like that's happening. Don't worry. But that is something to worry about. It's like other countries with other regulations getting into a company as big as Amazon with so many services. Like even like most games right now, the servers are run by Amazon Cloud Services. So that's kind of crazy. That's my Trump collusion tinfoil hat theory.
Bro.
That like another country's going to try to get in and take a majority of
They
Amazon.
stole my World of Warcraft. No, I'm sorry.
And not even that, just
I'm
like
joking.
steal shit.
The crazy part is we were talking about the other day. It's all just agreed upon with stupid pieces of paper. If it's on paper, it matters.
Yep.
And that's the dumbest thing in the world to me. Like, what?
Oh, because
Because I have this piece of paper, this money trail goes here, that money trail goes there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn this piece of paper.
It used to be a different time. Like Quincy Jones, I found out in the interview, like, you're gonna go pee again.
Yo, y'all need to get off my dick. I gotta piss. All right.
Well, I mean, your dick's always on the conversation because
I
you're
got
always
big
you're using it all the time.
Hey.
But no, Quincy Jones actually said in his Netflix documentary, like him and Frank Sinatra never had any contracts, all handshake. Like it was just a different time back in the day. And it's just definitely interesting how like the entertainment industry, like you can't really trust everyone, so now everything is contracted to a fucking
Because like,
T.
dude, that's how it is, bro. Like, there used to be a handshake was only the handshake and your word meant everything.
yeah, that went out the window a long time ago.
Real quick.
Yeah, very few people keep their word.
What was I gonna say?
Although I can honestly say we have, because I'm willing to say I've never had any of you guys on paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to do it.
We've never had any issues.
Exactly. Well, because we boys. That's why.
Word.
I'm not, but that's also not saying that if like a big deal comes around, we were not gonna ever have contracts. Like, but
Yeah.
for
We
a
all
lot
know what it is.
Yeah, especially at this small point, like we don't need
I
paperwork.
was
for
gonna
that.
say you should start making like a counter for every time he gets up.
I should make a counter for every time this dude gets up and goes
Pee
pee.
breaks. I'm
Yo,
telling
he's
you.
got like the tiniest bladder in the world.
Facts.
We talking mad shit about you, by the way.
Yeah. Let me also talk about how Quincy Jones and Frank Sinatra didn't have contracts back in the day. They were so gangster they just went off their word and handshakes, and everything was always just done right. They just always kept it gangster.
It's good to know as long as I have you guys in Balo, I always have fans.
Yeah. You always have someone on your dick.
Exactly.
But
Yo, I just want to make a quick shout out to something real quick. All right, so 4/20/2018, this world suffered a terrible loss. The EDM DJ Avicii passed away of intentional overdose, suicide, and it really struck the world heavy. But during that time, he had been working and collaborating with a writer and a couple different DJs at the time on music that was still all in the works. So the said writer and a couple other DJs finished and to come as close to his vision as possible. And instead of the family just keeping all the tracks for themselves, they said, you know what? No, Tim, which his Avicii's real name was Tim Bergling. They decided to release it. So the first single, which is titled SOS, is coming out April 10th. And the album, which is titled, which is titled Tim, for Avicii's first name, is coming out June 6th. Now, people, go out there and purchase this album. Listen to it, but purchase it, because all the proceeds from this album are going to the non-profit Tim Berling Foundation, and they do a bunch of different jobs and help out a bunch of different parts of the community, and as well as to help treat mental illness and suicide prevention and that whole nine. So really go out there, listen to it, and support this. The world loved Avicii. I love Avicii. I don't know, you guys don't really listen to much EDM or if any at all, but he really did a lot for the world and for the music scene, and we all miss him. I love him. So go out there, listen to him.
Cop his album.
Cop the album.
Well, I was gonna mention a banger right now, but that was a country star.
Country Road?
Yeah.
Oh,
the country
my
star
God.
had the best comeback of 2019. So there's a song that came out back in technically 2018, called Old Town Road by an artist called Lil Nas X, and he wanted to make his interpretation of country. He made a country song. It was starting to chart on the country. Started going up on the charts, and the country was like, get the fuck out of here. Get in the fucking hip hop.
They were hating.
Because it pretty much, but to me, it sounds like a country song, which is a little bit of 808. But they're like, this is too much. This sounds too good for us. So you got to get in hip hop.
There ain't enough twang in that song, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, at first I thought it was a racist thing. I was like, of course, the black artist makes a country song, and they're like, no, it can't be on the chart. However, though, I learned.
You never heard of Darius Rucker?
No, I didn't know about that, and I also didn't know that Billy Ray Cyrus was kicked off the country chart and moved to rock. When this song first came out, Lil Nas X actually tweeted
Country
out.
ain't nothing but an uppity bunch of white southern folk, you know what I'm saying?
We'll get into that, but it turns out he tweeted out like back in late 2018, like technically pretty much 2019. He said, "Hey Twitter, can y'all help me get Billy Ray Cyrus on the remix?" And a couple days ago, Billy Ray Cyrus tweeted out, "I've been paying attention to this Lil Nas X thing. Reminds me of when they kicked me off the charts. Don't worry, outlaws are supposed to be outlawed." And then they did the remix. That shit,
I'm not gonna lie, shit's fire.
this shit slaps. Honestly, I like the song originally, but Billy Ray Cyrus honestly still's got bars.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie,
I have to check it out,
dude. It was.
Yeah, it's dope. People out there, if you watch my Snapchat story from today,
Oh God.
you'll see the behind the scenes of us viewing it fully as a group.
I wasn't here.
And
Well,
also,
except for this guy,
Also,
'cause
this
he
is
showed
gonna be
up late.
released 2 days later, so you won't see it. But it's fine. The story's
Well, DM me if you want it. I
No,
saved
God.
that shit in my memories.
Christ. Yeah, but no, honestly, at first I wanted to make fun of the song, but it was so fire. And then the memes were even funnier because like one person tweeted out, Soulja Boy hit, and it's like, I had the greatest comeback of 2019, Billy Ray Cyrus, hold my beer. I was like, yo, Billy Ray Cyrus,
Got it.
I'm about it. And
Give credit where credit's due.
Fuck yeah.
I'm also just happy that like he wanted him on the remix from the jump, and he got him on.
Yeah.
I like seeing creators get their dreams, but I want to talk about this country shit. I always get into conversations with older people. They ask me like, why is hip hop still popular? Why is hip hop so popular?
Hip hop's actually the #1 genre right now.
Exactly.
It overtook country.
Yeah, but they always ask me, why is hip hop so popular? Why is it
That
still
shit
around?
Bumps.
More importantly, it is always tried to evolve, and it's always accepted it evolving.
Exactly.
There is taken like that's kind of where rock died, when like, in my opinion, when alternative and then heavy metal and all that started severing, and then people started hating on each other.
It's not that rock died, bro. It's the fact that rock just it's evolved to its pinnacle. It has nowhere else to go.
Exactly.
That's why I started going rap adjacent, country adjacent,
And that's-
etc.
but
that's
I
why
think
you
it's-
see,
where rap is now
metal
starting to
trap,
go.
But what I mean
Yeah.
is, like, I always felt like the rock, like, sex, like, not sectors,
that's
not sect-
where like rock and EDM have been going hand in hand now,
MGK.
and also too, you got there's artists like the Bone Crew, for example, who brought even trap
Stevie Aoki.
hip hop into doing metal and EDM into it all at the same time. So it's like this new menage of music.
But what I mean is, like, hip hop is unified.
Yeah.
Like, Jay respects Lil Uzi Vert, even though they're two completely different styles of rap. Whereas I feel like sometimes rock hasn't always been that unified. Where it's like the super heavy metal heads don't really fuck with the super alternative rock heads, and like it's kind of always, I feel like there's always been like kind of like
I have friends that
I see what you're saying. Like genre wise, it is splintered because like if punkers like
exactly splintered.
When I was a kid, when I was a kid, if punkers were seen in the same show, like Misfits, perfect example. Misfits brought the metalheads and the punkers together for the most part, and even then, there's still a lot of animosity. Whenever Misfits came to shows, people would fucking fight.
Yeah,
you know. So I definitely get where you're something there, but you gotta look at it from a different standpoint. Rap and hip hop have the same thing. It's just different colors.
I think
now instead of punks and metalheads, you got Crips and Bloods.
Well, that's
Latin Kings and
that's a different situation.
You're just
talking about that's gang life.
That's gang life. That's not really hip hop. Like what I'm talking about,
rivalry, bro.
That's the rival. That's a different.
What was hip hop stem from, bro?
That's not based on the music.
Based on music.
That's not based on the music. Like metal and punk are two different things, and that's based on music. But what I'm talking about is like different types of hip hop, like Uzi Vert versus Jay-Z or something like that. They still. You can still see Uzi Vert and Jay-Z on the sale, and no one thinks Bats and I do it. Like hip hop has always tried to be unified with the young and older artists, different varying artists, and their different type of wave and sounds and all that stuff. Like they've always kind of accepted it. That's how they've evolved. Versus maybe rock's not the best example, or country. Well, they've always slapped down like anything new that in country. They're like,
well, because you're never gonna see
except
like there's artists like
there's
artists like Colt Ford, for example, who are country rap, and yes, they're hugely popular and shit. But the country charts and the people who run the country charts are never gonna let their numbers like fully get onto like
they don't want to evolve
onto the country charts. They'd rather probably put Colt Ford on a hip hop chart.
So you're talking more as a genre than the audience.
Yeah, there's a genre that it's not, and it's not allowed. It's losing popularity because it's not allowing itself to evolve. It's just like slapping everything.
And I want to just throw this: when punk became very heavy in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right? It started gaining traction.
Momentum and stuff,
as an underground music.
Essentially popping in the late 80s and becoming pop punk in the early 90s.
Yeah, but they've always had that underground thing.
Yeah.
That's like alternative and all that. Like, it all stems from...
Alternative is more mainstream.
Yeah.
Especially in the 90s.
But hip-hop was born in the Bronx. Cool Herc.
Yeah.
And, like, this in 73, I think. And, like, it kind of he's right, like it evolved because it was such a new thing that people just kept inputting new things and different things, so it was always
and it was also
evolving.
born on sampling also.
Exactly.
Yes. You also got to keep in mind though, the time variable, like rock evolved from what? Jazz?
Yeah.
So you got to keep in mind.
So did hip hop though.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So you got to keep in mind the time frame and technology. Rock is going to evolve a lot slower, and it's the older head. And older heads are typically stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
More likely, you know. I know we're talking about an idea here, but...
That's a perfect point. And that's one thing that also comes back to...
Whereas rap is brand new, kid on the block, so it's going to be more likely to be like, oh, this is new, this is dope, let's do this. Auto-tune, trap, EDM, mix it.
Even that... Well, hip-hop's even getting to a point where we have old heads in the community.
You say old heads, but it's still only a 2-decade-year-old genre, bro.
No, it's not. It's
80s.
like fucking...
73
yeah,
was
it's
one.
like almost 40 years old.
It's almost 40 years old.
You still can't say that it's the newest... Next to
jazz.
Next to EDM.
No.
Next to EDM is the newest kid on the block.
And EDM's been out since the 80s too.
But
it started out as techno.
Techno. But what I'm saying is like again, but when old heads in hip hop, it's kind of frowned upon. Like people still do it, but it's kind of frowned upon to hate on the new artists.
Yeah.
Whereas
not for Snoop Dogg. He hating on Migos in that fucking one clip.
Yeah, but that's one clip. But he's not even hating on them. His thing is like, I just wish the kids would just be a little bit more original. And he's not even hating on Migos. He's just hating on everyone trying to be Migos. He wasn't mad at the Migos doing it. It was just like everyone after that was just like, all right, that's the Migos sound.
Let's just mumble.
Yeah, let's just be like Migos.
All I'm saying is rap had an easier time to become the natural evolver because it's had the technology and the time frame that it's had.
Yeah.
Whereas rock it had a slower transition, so naturally it's going to be less likely to adapt and shit like that.
Like, I'm not.
That's where I'm just coming from.
There's been a lot of artists and they've collabed. I think the first one was Aerosmith and Run DMC.
Yeah, and it was dope.
Then you had like.
And then you had Anthrax. No, you had Anthrax and Run DMC.
Tech Nine does a
whole bunch.
A whole bunch. He's still doing like.
I like that song with Surge from System of a Down. He did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they also too. They did. They also did one with fucking. Who the fuck was
Then
it?
everybody loves to go Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
I was just gonna say that.
Fuck.
Like those two. That by far is my favorite. Like combination.
Everybody says that, and this is my unpopular opinion. I despise the Jay-Z Linkin Park collab as well as Reanimation.
Oh, I like it.
I like some of the songs. Some of the songs I agree with you. I think I like the idea. And looking back, I think it was a cool move for both rock and hip hop to like come together.
Love what they tried to do.
Exactly.
Concept great. I think
the
execution.
I think it was phenomenal.
I like
I'm with Steve on that one.
Unpopular opinion.
I'm just saying. I agree.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an unpopular opinion. But I agree with you. I think most of them I was just like, I prefer to listen to the original of both, not the collision course.
Likewise.
Numb Encore is the only one where I'm like, I could go with Numb Encore.
Yeah.
I could go with Numb Encore.
That was that's a banger.
Yeah, that'll always be a banger. Yeah, no, that was Lil Nas X. Shout out to him. He's
killing it.
Trending #1 right now on YouTube as of us recording
If
it.
you ever listen to the track, go check it out. Regardless of whether you like rap or country, it's great.
Yeah, like if you like country, do you? Like I actually
Yeah, no,
I like country too.
We're not talking about
I'm not.
We're not talking about the fans. And if you are a country fan, let us know what you think.
Word.
What it is. Are you upset?
If you think it's lacking, or you think it's on point,
or are you upset with the country charts? Because all I've heard is pretty much hip hop heads talk about it. I haven't really asked any country people. What do you think about them taking it off the charts? Are you upset that it's like this is a hit for a country and they're taking it away, or is it like?
Is it deeper?
Or are you guys think it's a hip hop song you don't want on the charts? Like,
please comment and share below.
Yeah, no. If
Let's get a war
fan,
started on this. We want to know the facts from the fans.
Yeah, we want to know what actual country fans think about this.
Like, this is my thing with country, and I gotta respect anyone who listens to it, because I actually do listen to some country.
I love country, bro.
Word.
There's some good songs. Most of that shit though is depressing.
Yes.
Like most of isn't that like
but
the
then
number
on the
one
other spectrum, you
music
have super uplifting.
It's one of the number one.
Is sexy.
Yeah, like honestly, but if you look like topic of lyrics in country music,
he's gonna get it out of his system.
Well, I'm chugging along.
Oh my god.
If you look at topics of lyrics between country and topics of lyrics in hip hop, it's literally the same shit.
Yeah, no, it's the same.
Hanging out with the boys.
If it ain't about
girls,
beer, women, or my dog, or my tractor, it ain't a song.
Red Solo Cup.
I mean, but like it's all like fucking strippers, like everything.
Benz,
hoes,
bitches. Yeah, no, it's
cream.
No, yeah,
crash rules, everything.
It's just opposite ends of the spectrum, really, when it comes down to the genres.
And even rock and roll. Like,
absolutely.
We'll talk about more about this next week.
That's all there is to life.
We'll talk about more about this next week because it's all the dirt. Rock and roll is pretty much hip hop.
Drug, sex, and rock and roll.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same, just different genre of music. But that's pretty much it, I think, I got for this week. Let me just check if we have any more topics. But other than that,
everybody's currently looking at me like, that dude definitely did some shit back in the day.
Game of Thrones is gonna come back, but we'll talk more about that. I mean, we're excited.
Oh yeah, we should have. Yeah.
The
hype is real.
The hype is real for Game of Thrones, but
next week.
Next week.
I still haven't watched it.
Everybody hates me for that. I literally have to binge.
You're a fucking disappointment to
You're
humanity.
both pieces of shit. Get the fuck out.
You both are fucking disappointments to humanity. People put middle fingers to these motherfuckers right now.
I've literally watched the whole series twice now.
Thumbs up down below, and then give us the middle finger in the comments. Use the middle finger emoji. Anyways, that's pretty much it, I think, for this episode. It was a pretty solid episode. I'm pretty happy.
Hashtag fuck Steven and Maddie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're a lady, please fuck me. Anyways.
He likes it in the ass, apparently.
Whoa! Pegging.
No butt stuff. No butt stuff.
Whoa. We'll leave that off camera. Anyways.
I hope not on.
Well, you know, I'm Matt, and this has been My Crazy Podcast, episode 61. Who are you?
JT on your mom's face!
Dusty B.
Steve.
And I'm Matt for Dunny's sake. Make sure you thumbs up down below, comment, subscribe, buy our merch. Also, buy everything Nipsey Hussle right now. Buy everything Avicii right now. Did I pronounce it right?
Yes.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure I don't want to disrespect the dead. Make sure you guys, and also, you know what? This week, make sure you just like tell the people that you love, you appreciate them, because it's just something I remember this week. I appreciate all you guys.
Check on those you care about.
I appreciate all you guys. I just want to say
As
that.
do I.
And I'm not even just in this room, just everyone watching. Everything.
We love you too, Matty.
Appreciate all y'all.
Love you too, fans.
So yeah,
audience,
do that.
Yo,
all y'all out there.
love each other. Love yourself.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
We out early.
Late.